In this crypto update, I want to talk about Bitcoin and how scarce it's becoming. There's a ton of companies out there that's gobbling up every single BTC they can, and there's just not that much left to mine. And in this crypto update, I want to talk about a few other pieces of news that's trending for today. Let's get started. Started with Bitcoin 10,900, which isn't too bad. It made slow moves this past weekend, and same thing with last week. And it does look like it wants to continue higher. Now, looking at CMC, BTC dominance did come down a little bit, 57.5%, which means the altcoins are gaining. And today, the overall market cap has increased by 3%. In this crypto update, I want to primarily focus on Bitcoin though, because it's becoming very, very scarce. And this may be the last opportunity to own some Bitcoin at a reasonable price. First, let's start out with how much there is left to mine. We know that Bitcoin is set at a cap, 21 million. That's it. 21 million will ever be produced. And we know a lot of it is lost already. However, if you're looking at where we are now, there's only 2.5 million Bitcoin left to mine. That is right. Out of the 21 million, 18.5 million has been mined. So if you look at this chart, this is approximately where we are. Vast majority of Bitcoin has already been mined out. And within the next 4 years leading up to the next halving event, about half of the 2.5 million will be mined. So if you think about it, there's just not that much left to be mined. This is the biggest reason why Bitcoin is becoming so scarce, because it's already predetermined. It's set in code that, yeah, it is going to be scarce, and it will become more and more scarce as time goes on, and that's what's happening. There's just not that many BTC to be mined going forward. And out of the circulating supply out there for Bitcoin, approximately 20% of it is lost forever. And people know this by looking at inactivity of wallets. There's a lot of wallets out there that hold a substantial amount of Bitcoin, and they haven't been moved for the last 11 years. So theory is that people lost their keys. So this is kind of an estimation, but still 20%, 15%, 10%, whatever. So that's a lot. So out of the 21 million that will ever be, actually it's a lot less than that. It's really like 17 million or 16 million when you take into the fact that there's a lot of it that's lost forever. So that makes Bitcoin even more scarce. And now you have companies that's just buying Bitcoin left and right. Grayscale Investments now has 450,000 Bitcoin. Not dollars of Bitcoin, 450,000 Bitcoin. We're talking about $5 billion worth of Bitcoin in its position. And just within the last week alone, they added another 17,100 BTC. A lot of you guys look at a story like this, you're like, well, you know, if they're buying so much Bitcoin, why is the price not going up? Well, it is. It is. It's slowly coming up. Keep in mind, we're at $11,000. I think a lot of people forget that, yeah, we're at $11,000 for Bitcoin. We're not at $6,000 for Bitcoin. We're not at $3,000. 11,000 is a pretty high number. This is more than halfway reaching all-time high from 2017. And this is the reason why Bitcoin volatility has dropped substantially, right? A lot of people, including myself, over the last 6 months, I've been expecting Bitcoin to make another dip, to go back down, right? Because it came back up so fast from its low, and it hasn't. You know, ever since it passed 10,000, it's pretty much there. It's not going back down to 8,000 or 7,000 or 6,000. It's holding, and it's because Bitcoin is so scarce now, and you have a lot of big companies just gobbling it up. And there's just really not that much to go around. Circulation is low. Microstrategy recently has made headlines because they have increased their position to about $450 million. So you have a business intelligence firm that's out of the blue that really has nothing to do with Bitcoin, all of a sudden purchased $450 million worth of Bitcoin. So what does this all lead to? Well, think about it. When you have something that has a current amount of demand and supply starts decreasing, guess what happens? Well, the price of that goes up. But in terms of Bitcoin, I believe it's even more than that. you have an increasing demand, and then you have a supply that's decreasing. So as it does this, guess what's going to happen? Well, the price is not going to go up. It's going to go parabolically up, and that's when FOMO really kicks in. And I believe that's right around the corner for Bitcoin. Now, other things that's also helping curb volatility and that relates to Bitcoin, number one is the Bitcoin balances on centralized exchanges is at a 2-year low. So this is also bullish because it means that people aren't rushing to sell. Usually when people keep Bitcoin or even crypto on exchanges is because they're looking to sell or trade. But as Bitcoin balances drop on exchanges, what does that mean? Well, it means that they're holding on. Holders are continuing to hold on. Speculators or traders are decreasing. So this also explains why Bitcoin volatility is decreasing and Bitcoin is slowly on the rise. What's also helping curb volatility with Bitcoin and crypto is DeFi. So this is pretty interesting news. Uniswap now has $2 billion worth of assets locked in. And this is higher than the entire DeFi industry just 2 months ago. That shows you how far DeFi has come. It's over $11 billion now. Uniswap is at $2.1 billion in total locked in value. So Uniswap is a DEX. So this also helps because a lot of people are putting their crypto in liquidity pools, earning interest in Uniswap. It's taking power away from the centralized exchanges, giving it to the hands of the people like DEXs. And it's helping curb volatility because when people are locking in their crypto and they're gaining interest, it gives them less incentive to sell or make a rash decision, right? So this is also helping, I believe, curb the volatility that we really haven't seen in a long time. So this happened over the weekend, obviously not good, but a centralized exchange, KuCoin, one that I've talked about a lot in the past. I trust them, I use them, but unfortunately they've been hacked for $200 million. Now, KuCoin is working with a lot of projects out there in terms of freezing the stolen funds so the hackers can't get access to it. And also, KuCoin says they have more than enough in their insurance to cover everything else. So basically, if you lost funds, it will be recovered. But it's unfortunate that they got hacked. We don't know exactly how it happened, but they did. And there's a lot of companies out there that's working with KuCoin right now in terms of freezing the frozen assets. It's unfortunate, but the moral of the story is, yes, centralized exchanges, they can get hacked. You have to be careful with your own funds, right? Which is why a lot of people are pulling their BTC and crypto out of centralized exchanges and storing them on a hardware wallet like Ledger. And lastly, E&Y, one of the big accounting firms, one of the big four in the US, they're releasing a new tool for analyzing Bitcoin transactions and on-chain data, and it will be free for individuals. And this is good because we know there's a lot of analysis companies out there like Chainalysis. They obviously charge for this kind of stuff, but now if you want to do your own research, you want to track your own transactions, you can use this free tool that will be released to the public in the near future. That's it for today's crypto update. Bitcoin, altcoins are doing well, but the main point, the main topic of today has to be Bitcoin and how scarce it's becoming. There's a lot of factors at play, and I do think there's going to be big movements for Bitcoin within the next year as it becomes even more scarce. All right, what do you guys think? Do you agree with me or you don't? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe to the channel for more crypto news.